Once again, it is time for Midnight's Edge After Dark. How is everybody doing out there? We have with us tonight the one, the only, the greatest YouTuber in the world, Mike, the Mexican Iron Man.
No,
the man.
No, you stop that right now, all of you. You guys, and how did this greatest YouTuber? How did we go from I'm not a YouTuber to greatest YouTuber around the world?
You're the one who keeps insisting that you're not. I mean,
I'm not? How am I? How am I? I am not. Do I release Okay, wait. Besides from unboxing videos, do I ever release videos? No.
Mikey,
do I ever live stream on my channel? No.
That's even more impressive that you don't do that and you're still the greatest.
Mikey, you know that we proved it on Friday on Loki's show. You look up Google on YouTuber and it's your picture.
No, it's not. I don't believe that. That was fake news. Who made that, by the way? That was pretty funny. Whoever did that.
That was me.
That was pretty funny, Brian.
But it was proof. Absolute proof.
Thank you, Tom. Great to be here with you. It's Tuesdays and Thursdays are interesting days because I get up early and then I'm gonna get everything done so I can make the show. And so thanks for having me.
Well, we're glad to have you here. And it sounds like we have somebody else joining us in the back here. It's the one, the only Nick Weiser. How are you doing?
Nicky.
Nick.
Dude, yeah. It's a hot, toxic panel of dudes. I like it.
Yes, we are. Are you coming through the proper mic?
Should be.
Okay.
Check. Yeah, just check it.
Okay.
Now, yeah.
All right,
all's good.
All right. So welcome to the program, my friends. We have also joining us Culture Casino. How are you doing?
I'm good. I feel like I've just seen you recently. I don't know why.
Nah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I had to go pay the cheese tax. We also have Clobbering Times. How you doing, Clobby?
Hey, man, doing fine. Good to see you. Thank you for having me here. Great to see my good friends on the panel and friends in the chat. Good to see you all.
Glad to have you. Also joining us is 70s Rock Band.
Good evening. Good evening to you all. Are you well?
Hi, 70s.
Hi, Nick. It's nice to see that you came to the show.
You know, for you, I'll always come.
Looking forward to Death Wish 3 later?
Oh, dude. I got 800,001 things to say about Death Wish 3.
It's a lot of
good
fun.
and ridiculous. We'll just say good.
Third time's a charm.
Oh, in so many ways. Especially on rewatches. The rewatches, it's definitely, I feel like the one that benefits.
It's been a few minutes since I watched this one. I didn't get a chance to rewatch it.
It's one of my favorite comedies of all time.
Oh, man,
Dude, right?
Okay, which one is this one? Is this the one that starts out? This is the one that starts out with his friend in the building that gets killed, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. Yeah. I think it's the first one that features a rocket launcher, isn't it?
Maybe.
The big boo. Yeah. Yeah.
Is it the one with the machine gun? I can't remember. It's this machine gun.
Yeah,
is
the
rocket
machine gun.
launchers.
Yeah. The machine gun was there.
It's all good, clean fun.
Yeah. I just call it Death Wish 3, everyone dies, because to me that's not a spoiler.
It's in the title, Nick.
Do not befriend this man if you see him.
Whatever you do, don't piss him off. More so. The Walt Man's here. How you doing, Walt Man? Says Twitter just a lot more interesting now that Tucker is having his show on the platform.
Yep.
You'll see his face on Home tab now. Oh, interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah. It's going to be really interesting.
He's on Twitter, huh? So he got all that other stuff figured out, or what's going on with that culture?
I think it's great. I think Deadline put out an article about this. You are looking at the potential for a complete shift in how people consume media, even moving away from other platforms, perhaps some of the larger and largest platforms. They will maybe be moving over to Elon's platform. I think you'll see some migration, and I think you'll see more creators adopting a strategy to include Twitter, including maybe Tom Connors of Midnight's Edge.
Ooh.
So, Culture, you've been broadcasting your shows on Twitter for a while. how's that going? Are you getting a lot of feedback? Are you getting new Twitter subs from it? What's
He does, but I told him just turn down the microphone and he should be fine.
Get it now.
put the camera off too, might be.
Well,
You might
that'll
as well
help with
have
the negative
man flu
feedback
here.
anyway.
You may as well have man flu here. Call it the
Is
6-minute
it-
nap.
Yeah, is it getting traction for you? Is what I'm
There's really no way to get a metric on that right now. That's the other thing. I believe that I think that's one of the areas. If I were going to talk to Elon directly, I'd say, it's great and all that we can do this, but there's no way for me to quantify if this is effective or not. You know, I know there are people there. I think there were like 30 some people on Twitter watching me today. I can't converse with them that I'm aware of. I've got nowhere to know where that's happening.
yeah, that's what I wondered. Yeah.
It's not, they don't really have an effective studio space on Twitter. I think if I were to talk to Elon, I would suggest that. Let's see. But there are people there. I mean, and it's kind of neat to see yourself on a Twitter stream. I mean, you know, it's kind of like the days you guys remember Periscope used to be popular on Twitter, right? And so it's kind of like it just reminds me of that. I actually see a future in it, but then again, I see a future in a lot of things.
I'd be excited to see Twitter become a major streaming platform. I think that would be exciting, and it would give us another alternative to some of the issues we have on an existing platform.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always telling people I'm here, I'm there, I'm everywhere. I trying to get Odyssey to work again. What is Tom eating an illegal burrito? Well, the cat wants the illegal burrito.
It's a
What are you
donut.
eating, Tom Connors Jr. right now? What are you
It's
eating?
a twist donut, but it has nuts on it, so it's good for me.
Oh no. That's
Is that what I think it is? Is
that?
that actually a freaking donut?
It is.
It has nuts on it.
So it's healthy.
I
then.
just ate a salad with baked salmon on it just now for dinner. That I made.
I
I
just
ate a
had-
salad last night, and I had a diabetic attack.
Oh, no. You shouldn't
You
have
I had the cinnamon toast crunch rolls cereal about 20 minutes ago. That was my dinner before Midnight's Edge.
How
They
the
have
fuck
this
is
new
it you eat
version.
worse than I do, Nick?
Tom, eating a salad doesn't count if it's deep fried.
Damn it.
Or if it's covered in ranch.
You know what? I don't even know why I try anymore.
I had my doctor's appointment today. I'm doing okay. My hemoglobin's a little high, but
I like it
Have
that
you had
Tom
maple
goes.
bacon
Tom goes.
donuts?
I'm going to go to the. Here's Tom's decision-making tree. I went to the doctor, and since he says I'm not dying today, I'm going to go have a freaking twisty donut
it tastes
As my
better
re-
that way.
as my reward.
I must admit,
I
I
bet it
think we all
does.
do that, though, don't we? I mean, I go out cycling just about every day, and then I usually swing by DQ on the ride somewhere and have ice cream.
I assure you, Tom Connors does not go cycling every day.
I don't have a bike, but that'd be cool if I did. Zontar says, reminder that Fox's last straw with Tucker that got him fired was him stating Russia propaganda he knew was false as fact to subvert American interests. I don't know anything about this.
Bullshit.
No.
Bullshit.
Yeah, but it could do with something
Oh,
shaking
did
it
someone
up. So
say
this,
bullshit?
I have strong opinions on this, but it's the wrong channel for that.
Wrong
kind of
channel
thing.
for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
other than if it promotes a shake-up in the media entertainment complex, I don't see that can be a bad thing for anybody. So, yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
Did I get
More
the
options.
two-finger cough? What is that? Culture, what's the two-finger cough?
That's
Don't
called
do
a
that on
hernia
screen.
check. That's
Camera
a
off.
hernia check. That's where the doctor tells you to bend over, turn your head, and cough.
Camera
And
off.
it's after they put the fingers in the
Rubber glove.
yeah, and if you're lucky, they apply the lubricant.
You see, Tom would have asked for that if he'd known it was available.
Right?
Yeah, they also tend
I
to
want the
check.
full service package.
They also so while they're doing the hernia check, they usually do the prostate check too, which is an actual insertion into your rectal area that they feel around in there to make sure you don't have a enlargement or bumps.
My rectum.
But, I always thought it was really weird to like go and press up in the testicle area to look for a hernia. I'm thinking,
and that's the show. No.
don't you have a machine that can do that? I mean, can you take a picture?
Have you got videos of that?
I'd rather have a picture.
Are you trying to say that there should be a better way to do this now?
Yeah, I think so.
Zontar says another reason a Smash movie won't happen is beyond being an innately bad idea. Nintendo doesn't own it outright. Sora and Bandai have a stake. Yeah, I brought this up before, actually, Zontar, about them not actually owning all the characters and whatnot as well in this situation. So highly unlikely a Super Smash Brothers situation would happen, and I don't think Nintendo's that dumb.
Don't rule on Nintendo in being, I wouldn't say dumb, but in terms of if they can do it and they're allowed to, they will go for it. Now that might actually be true. Unlike the Russian thing.
My reasoning is that basically I think Nintendo would do a disservice to itself to try and make all their movies under the same universe as one shared universe like the MCU, because then they're no longer like a studio. They're just basically, you can do so much more if you don't have everything connected. You don't have to have everything in the same universe. I don't know. I think they're writing themselves into a corner if they did that. That's just my opinion on that. And Darius Munchausen sent us some popcorn. Popcorn. Thank you so much. Speaking of popcorn, we've had a little bit of update. I wouldn't call it much of an update. It's more of a rehash of old news. I don't even know what ScarJo is out there promoting, because all the headlines are about her stuff with Marvel. Scarlett Johansson opens up about the pain and triumph of Disney legal battle over Black Widow, and I guess Wes Anderson's liberating Cannes film. That's what it's all about. Okay. But yeah, so in this, she talks a little bit about her lawsuit with Disney, how she felt what she was owed on the back end, and of course, for a reminder for anybody back at that time, that was back when Bob Chapek was in command, and of course, Billy Lord was, or not Billy Lord, what's his name?
Well, it is the last name is Lord. He's one of the
Billy
he's a
is
super
the
agent.
kid.
Yeah, he's a super agent.
That guy. He was talking about how pissed off he was and all that shit. But basically, like, this is being rehashed again, and I'm just curious how everybody feels like it's shaked out in the end, because this was the moment where, when Kevin Feige says he underestimated Bob Chapek, right? I mean, Davey actually kind of, I don't know if he took Goliath out. Brian Lord, thank you guys. I don't know if he took Goliath out, but he sure did, give him a shiner with that. And yeah, this whole situation did not shake out well for anybody. In fact, we were talking about this earlier, Culture, on Mr. H's stream, so I'm going to toss it to you first.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say, like, her whole Tower movie is still in jeopardy because of this. She probably screwed up the chance of coming back into the MCU because of this, from what it sounded like. I mean, she's trying to boast this as some kind of triumph, but do you see it that way?
I don't see it that way. I know for a fact, as of this moment, the Tower of Terror film is still on the board. Whether or not it ever gets made is an entirely other discussion, because it started all the way back in 2017. So whether or not that rebooted movie makes it to the silver screen is, who knows. Whether or not Black Widow returns to the MCU, I would say probably not. I'd say she's probably done with Disney outside of Marvel, and maybe Marvel also. I don't expect her to easily work with Disney again, because she's always going to feel like they are going to try to screw her over, and vice versa. I don't know that Disney can feel like they can trust her, because she did create quite a firestorm instead of trying to get things done quietly. So her agent is a super agent, though, so it's not like she'll ever be out of work. She is a valuable commodity to somebody. So those are my thoughts anyway. I don't know about the rest of you guys.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I think you're right. She's a valuable commodity. She's always going to get cast. This new Wes Anderson, I'm assuming, is the Asteroid City
Yes.
sci-fi comedy, which looks interesting. I mean, we can never tell these days until we see it, but she certainly is almost like the top of the billing in that, and even above Tom Hanks and so on. So, yeah, I think she doesn't need Disney.
Well, I suppose I should throw out some context here. Here's what the Variety piece on this says. As she became a bigger and bigger star, Johansson has grown more comfortable raising that voice when she feels she's been screwed over. Case in point, she shocked the industry in July 2021 by stepping into the ring with Disney, the most powerful entity in Hollywood. The actress was quarantining up in her Upper East Side apartment, days away from giving birth to Cosmo, her second child, when she filed an explosive lawsuit against the studio shortly after the release of Marvel prequel Black Widow. For the previous 6 months, Johansson's team had worked behind the scenes to push the studio to make good on the millions of dollars in back-end compensation she would forego when it released Black Widow simultaneously on Disney Plus and in theaters as the pandemic raged. The breach was clear-cut, given that her contract contained a stipulation that the Avengers spin-off be released exclusively in theaters. Adding insult to injury, Disney, then led by CEO Bob Chapek, bragged that Black Widow generated more than $60 million in Disney Plus Premier Access global sales in a bid to juice its stock price. In response to the suit, the studio took off the gloves and released a jaw-dropping statement that slammed Johansson for her callous disregard for the horrific and prolonged global effects of COVID-19 pandemic, and casually revealed her tightly guarded $20 million upfront salary. By all appearances, the studio had declared war on an actress who played Russian assassin Natasha Romanoff in 8 of its Marvel tentpole films, starting with 2010's Iron Man 2, and is a corporate superfan to boot, the kind who spent a recent Christmas with a group of 15 friends at Walt Disney World. As Johansson and I sit together on an April afternoon in New York City, her megawatt smile fades as she winces at the memory of Disney's scathing statement. I was sad and disappointed, but mostly sad. She says it was such a surreal moment because we were all isolated and just sort of emerging a little bit. No, not at that point we weren't. I was also really heavily pregnant too, which is, in a weird way, was an amazing timing. Suddenly your entire attention is drawn to this miracle of life. So I had the most wonderful distraction in the world, and soon after had a beautiful baby. By contrast, Johansson's agent, Brian Lord, was anything but distracted. I lost my mind and said, "How dare you make it seem like she's not worth this money, or that she somehow hasn't earned it," he recalls. She and I are very much in lockstep about what this was, and she had the conviction to let me fight back. A lot of people wouldn't do that, and part of the reason she did it is because she thought in the position she's in, she had a responsibility not just to herself, but other people who were being confronted with this change. 2 months later, around the same time Cosmo was cracking his first smiles, Johansson and Disney settled the suit. Terms of the deal were not disclosed, but Johansson's payout reportedly eclipsed $40 million. In the history of Hollywood, the stars who have successfully sued studios are few and mostly men. Of course, they had to bring that up. But anyway, so she says, I couldn't even walk through a restaurant without somebody saying, "Good for you, stand up for yourself." I could see it had bigger impact. I got support from strangers that have no skin in the game at all. Okay.
You go, girl. She's a boss babe, Tom. She don't need no man.
Yeah, I called BS on that she was doing it for other people. I'll go that far.
I was just going to say, who else got a chunk of this money? Nobody else.
Yeah. She gave away the same amount of money that BLM gave away. Not to make it political, but you get what I'm saying. Nothing was given away.
Yeah, I didn't see her turn around and give all that money to the rest of the cast and crew.
No.
Like nobody else made $20 million fucking dollars up front on this piece of shit.
Yeah.
Look, this is the gamble you make in Hollywood, man. And I've let my feelings be known at the time. I think, and this is the bubble they live in. You see, she was told she did a good job. Kevin Feige got kind of put in his place on this whole fucking thing. I don't think she realizes the ramifications this whole thing had on going forward. Like the article does point out that, yeah, like Culture said, she still technically is attached to the Tower of Terror project. I don't think that's going to happen. We already know she pretty much fucked up the chance of coming back as Black Widow because there was the setup in the end of her movie.
Yep.
And we do know that the Captain America series was originally announced, but we don't know if that's going to happen now because of the strike. But that series was supposed to revolve around him putting the stones back. So I'd imagine that was going to be where she was going to be reintroduced. But that being said, I think she's done fucked herself, if you ask me. I mean, she's taking a victory lap for something she didn't win, I guess. I don't know. Mikey.
It wasn't even a win. It was a settlement.
Or Nick, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Nick. You can start.
It was a settlement. I mean, I don't think, obviously, financially, she's going to be well off. She's going to have residuals from being Black Widow for, 10 years of her life for the rest of her life. So financially, she's going to be well off. I'm curious to see if she will or will not have a big Hollywood career going forward. I mean, she's talented, I'll say that, but she's not like a big rock star name either. Like, she's good. She's solid. She gets the job done. But I know it's just like, and once again, this wasn't this big victory like that she's hyped up to be. It's like, this is a settlement. And to me, anytime there's a settlement involved, that's not a win for anybody. It's just you both agreed on something, and that's just what you both agreed on. No one loses from that. So it's just, okay, we have an understanding, part ways. Okay, great. Yeah. I mean, mostly she'll be fine. Career-wise, who knows? It's all up in the air.
Nick's man brings up a good point. Maybe she didn't want to come back as the character, but you know what? If I was, who is it, CAA or whatever that Lord works for, Culture? But he's one of the owners, isn't he?
Yeah, he's financially tied to them. Yes.
Honestly, that's the thing. If I would be trying to oust his ass because of this. Do you realize how much money he probably just cost the company because of this whole fucking thing?
Well, I mean,
even if she doesn't want to play the character anymore, her instantly showing up in one of these movies is boom, payday.
Well, I mean, how are you? Okay, first of all, I don't know how you would get rid of him. He's the co-chairman of.
I know that's the sad part, but I mean,
he's been around.
How much did he cost the company now because of this, though?
Oh God, I don't know.
That's my point. I'm getting
billion. Yeah, except that look,
but the other thing, Culture, on the balance side of this equation, you've got, if you're in that position and she's probably in the top. I mean, let's just say she's in the top 10, 20.
Yeah, she's in the top 20. Yeah, she's
all right. Let's say top 20, top 10. He's got to make his client happy, and if she's in boss babe mode, which is not the place to be. I mean, it blows me away that, do you know how many male actors, comparatively speaking, I'm about to sound like some misogynistic idiot, but the point of the matter is there's a lot of male actors in Hollywood that are in the top 20 that show a lot more humility and appreciation, Chris Pratt, than going into boss babe or boss dude mode. Whenever you cross the line of here's what I deserve or here's what I'm worth or I'm at the status, you know what? There's the door. There's the door.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Go ahead. You were going to say something. Yeah.
No, I was just going to say that a cynic like myself would say we've got two parties here that are spoilt, entitled Hollywood elites living in a bubble, fighting each other.
But can I point something? Can I point something out?
You can.
Brian Lord is the guy that mediated the last deal between the Writers Guild from 07-08, that strike, and people like, I don't know, Chernin, Iger, et cetera. He's the person that was the intermediate that handled the negotiations between the two sides. He doesn't probably like Iger very much. He probably didn't, see value in a lot of things, but agents need their actors, the people that they represent, to work. Iger and he have ironed out issues before. But like I said, you sully someone else too many times, they'll be less likely to do business with the other parties. I'm just saying. I mean, this is a big deal, and you know, Mexican Iron Man's right. She's in the top 20. There's only, again, there really might only be 20 people that can bring eyeballs to a screen anymore, and she's one of them. But I don't know. I mean, to me, it sounds like a lot of people are leaving Disney never to return. I mean, we're watching Batista leave. You're watching, many other folks leave. Zoe Saldana is, only still with Disney because she's obviously still signed for the Avatar stuff. Otherwise, she wouldn't be there at all. She'd gladly move on.
No, she says she's done with Marvel. So, I mean, I think that's pretty telling.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them are, except for Chris Pratt, who said he might be willing to come back. But they obviously already built the new team. I'm not exactly thrilled with the new team for Guardians, but at least I got a movie that rounded it all out. When it comes,
let's be real, we're not going to get another one.
No. But when it comes to Black Widow, I really thought there was a distinct possibility we'd get another one. I don't think that anymore.
No,
I'm pretty sure she was meant to come back in at least some capacity, wouldn't you think, Klobby? I mean, especially in flashbacks and other events.
In some way, they could they could have used the stones. They could have other things they could have done. Like you said, there could have been flashbacks. By the way, they did say the Star-Lord's coming back. I don't know why they said that, but
yes, but Star-Lord in his current incarnation or in some other
who
guys.
knows? But it did say that.
I think he's going to get a Disney Plus series.
Chris Pratt.
I think, and this is me speculating totally. I think it will be.
Okay.
But I know what you're saying, because it's funny enough, somebody said the same. I couldn't believe it. Well,
sorry.
Either way, somebody in the theater said they couldn't believe it either. But I said, well, maybe. And I think it's going to be along the lines of the Thor short films that he had with, what is it, Daryl, his roommate.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember those?
Right. Yes.
I have a feeling that we're going to get something like that. It's going to be Star-Lord on Earth kind of thing.
It could be. Well, he is there now. And again, if it were Chris Pratt, Star-Lord on Earth like that, it could be, it could be something good, but I doubt I'm skeptical that he'll ever play Star-Lord.
Are they going to do anything good ever again, Klobby?
I'm not really looking forward to anything.
I kind of like this new movie, but other than that, no.
I wouldn't get my hopes up. But anyway, Klobby, your thoughts on this whole thing altogether?
Oh, you all handled it. Probably got nothing to say. I don't believe anything she says or anything. She's kind of just.
I think she was in the right. She was in the right with what she was saying about a breach of her contract and the way the movie was handled.
She was, but this was unforeseen circumstances at the same time. I hate sounding like I'm sticking up for Disney in this case.
Dude, if freaking COVID was on, what does this bitch want?
Yeah, this is where I'm going to come to Mikey.
Let me be blunt.
Yes, please be blunt, because I want the financial situation
what
of this.
Does this bitch want? It was an unbelievable. This movie maybe coulda, woulda, shoulda come out sooner. Who knows how it would have done? And on the slate of things. And when it came out, what the hell did you expect? At the time, we got to remember we were in a backdrop where Day and Date was the hot rage. Remember, everybody was talking about Day and Date. Day and Date was the hot rage. Everybody was doing it. Every studio, every streaming service aligned with the studio was doing it. And you know what? Okay, your movie didn't make $1 billion. Well, you know what? Most of the movies that had the core Avengers team, guess what they didn't do? $1 billion. All right, so you know what? Give me a break. This chick's out of control. She's in boss babe mode. She's got her money in the bank, and all sense of appreciation and humility has gone out the window along with her future opportunities.
they
Honestly,
didn't start off at $1 billion. Those movies worked their way up to it. They would start being $200 million hits, then 3 to 5, 5 to 7.
No, but let's be real, Nick. That's what Mikey's saying here. Is this? She got the Gal Gadot deal with this movie. Is what happened. If you guys remember, Gal Gadot got a huge payout for Wonder Woman 84, basically as if it would have grossed $1 billion. That's probably what ScarJo ended up getting at the end of the day. Because I was just going to say, the only thing Mikey didn't say was that the only person who made money on this movie was her.
Yes, everybody else lost on the net off the gross. Everybody else lost off the gross because of the marketing budget that went into this and the fact that they had to sell it to themselves on streaming, and no one got points on the net. Nobody did on this thing. So whether you're above the line or below the line, the only one that got paid on this deal was the talent. Who's the talent? ScarJo.
She walked home with $60 million. Now, granted, she had to give some of that to her.
But you know what? You know why she's
and
mad?
Her taxes and all that bullshit. But at the end of the day, did this movie make $60 million? Fuck no.
And you know what she's mad at? It's an ego thing. I want my own $500 to $1 billion movie. That's what it is, because that's what all of Hollywood talks about these days.
Yeah.
And the only thing that anybody cares in Hollywood, whether you're a producer, you're a writer, you're a talent, everybody wants that ego rush. That, it's almost like watching YouTubers and sub count, like, that burning passion to get to 100,000 subs or 10,000 subs, whatever. You know what? She may have taken 60 million to the bank, but deep down inside, she is burning that she doesn't have a 500 million or $1 billion movie. And that's what drives her nuts.
Well, and this was my question, where she's probably, or Brian Lord, I should say, is probably lucky that and this is why I was bringing it up to culture, is that he's part of the company, because if he was just an employee, I got to imagine he would have gotten fired after this whole thing because of the amount of money he probably just cost the studio.
No, but the point of the matter is that he's at such a level where
or cost the company. I mean,
but he himself personally, as an agent, and his company overall has such power with so much talent in so many studios, including Disney, that he can pretty much say and do whatever he wants. He's not going to be held to the level of accountability any more than Bob Iger's held to any level of accountability over at Disney for some of the crap that his woke ass people do.
Well, and that's the thing, is she is arguing that she should have gotten this back end deal. It was supposed to get a theatrical release. I believe it was day and date, if I remember right, but this was the one that they experimented with where they charged people for it.
Right.
Now, on her side of this is where Disney should have probably gotten ahead of this and said, look, Scar, this is going to have to be this way. We will give you this amount of the streaming, what we make on the video on demand sales. And obviously you're going to get your whatever on the other side, but you're clearly not going to make the amount you were hoping for. I mean, they should have just been upfront with her. I'm not going to deny that. But at the end of the day, the fact that they settled means that they didn't think they could probably win this case in court. Even though they had that stipulation in their contract, I think that Brian and whoever their lawyers were probably knew that they weren't going to be able to make that point stick with COVID.
Do you think that the argument over that she put forward about the way it was released is possibly a cover for other issues she's had with Disney and the way the movie was made, and perhaps dissatisfaction with other aspects of it that she couldn't really voice?
Ask that, because the other parts of this that she's talked about is how she said that she felt like Marvel was basically just a sausage fest. So she is kind of projecting some shit onto that.
There may be other issues that she couldn't really voice because they weren't contractual per se, that she was peed off with. But I don't know. Is there did she have an unrealistic expectation as well of how much money this movie could have made if it had been in a normal time? Yeah. I don't know. Would it ever have made 800 million to $1 billion?
No. The only way this movie ever made that kind of money is if they would have released it right instead of Captain Marvel. It would have been her movie.
Now, you see, that would make sense to me if she was pissed off about that, because that's possibly what it should have been.
Them releasing this movie after she was already dead, and the movie not being about her coming back to life and being a prequel, and basically the only other prequel besides Captain Marvel in the MCU at that point, and I think still, yeah, it was pretty fucking stupid of them.
I never understood the timing of it, because it should have been not Captain Marvel. It should have been her movie in that.
No, if anything, Captain Marvel should have been introduced in Endgame, what little she is in it, because then you could have had the setup of going, well, who is she? Well, then you actually do have a reason to go see the fucking movie. If you even give a shit.
Indeed, and as Tiara and the chat and others have said, who wants to go and see a movie about a character who's already dead? It does have an impact.
That's what I was getting at, too. And
how much investment are you going to make?
Sausage party thing, when by the time we get to Endgame, like, they even have the whole, pro ladies Avengers shot that makes no sense.
Yeah. Thanks,
Flabby
Kevin
knows what
Feige.
I'm talking about. Yeah.
Oh,
Dude, that
Avengers.
scene.
It's
Oh,
interesting.
man.
Interesting about speculation about her motivation around money, because I can't imagine she's getting paid an enormous amount of cash for this Wes Anderson movie. I mean, it's an ensemble cast, so either the
Sure
money
she
she's
is.
got,
No.
she's either got set up by the money she's got from this that she can pick and choose, or she's just happy to accept less.
Well,
for the
that's
right
kind
When
of
I
how
was
these
watching
things-
Tom, when I was
Go ahead.
watching that scene, when all the women showed up in Avengers, I was with my
Ugh.
cousin, and I said something out loud, and and I got poked so hard in the ribs. I said when it happened, I was like, I hope one of them brought a sandwich.
Oh,
Well, and you brought up the payday business, Brian, and that's what I was getting at before, Culture and Mikey, about how Brian Lord just kind of, I mean, sure, they got a nice fat payday for this, but how much future business did they get cost now? Because, like, that's the thing, these kind of actors, that's how they do their business. You do one for the studio, you do one for yourself, right? The Marvel ones were the ones she was doing for the studio. What has she got now? There is no upcoming paydays anymore if she's no longer
But
part
she
of the
may be
MCU.
okay with that now because of what she's got out of this settlement. She may be happy with that. She's obviously got kids now. She maybe
Maybe.
doesn't want the big blockbusters that you have to spend 6 to 7 months on doing all that action training and whatever. Maybe she just wants the
true.
lower level Wes Anderson pieces. So, she may be done
Maybe.
with all that completely.
Could be right.
Yeah.
Well, let's be done with this completely for now, unless anybody else has anything more to say on it. Because I got a story I want to get to before Culture leaves us here. Before we do that, though, we've got a member chat from Inverse Opinion who says, tell Olivia de Havilland that women haven't successfully sued studios before.
Yeah.
I'd have to go do some digging, but I'm assuming you might be correct. And I can't think of too many guys. They brought up a few instances of men in there, but I don't know too many that have. And they usually settle anyway. Ben Dowdy has been a member for 5 months. Thank you so much. And I think this was from earlier, but thanks again, Darius Munchausen, for the super sticker. Are you a Matlock fan, Culture?
I think
I
he's
think
taking care of
Culture's
business.
slipped away for a few
Oh,
minutes.
I thought
yeah.
he said he had to leave in 10
He had
minutes.
an
I
emergency
think he
weave
split out.
to do. He had to do an
Oh,
emergency
he'll be
weave.
back. Okay. All right, we'll talk about this then instead real quick, since this is not going
Matlock,
to take so long. This is Marvel related. We'll jump to this first.
Mhm.
Jonathan Majors has appeared in court via Zoom.
What, he's going to make a remake of Matlock, Jonathan Majors?
No, well, we'll get to that. That's going to jump off of this.
yes.
So yeah, the thing is that his attorney went out and made some very salacious claims
Oh.
after this. I believe he just put in a no not guilty thing, but it just goes through the whole situation. And for those who haven't been brought up to speed yet on it, I suggest checking out our previous talks about it. But basically, back in what was it, March or April, Jonathan Majors was arrested and charged with assault of his then girlfriend. And we have his attorney now who's been making all kinds of promises of things that would exonerate her client, but she has yet to really show any of these things. But she gives us a reason for that. Now so this started on March 25th, and then back a month ago on April 27th, the victim was granted a temporary order of restraint. And then the legal team denied any wrongdoing and has released text messages and videos. We haven't seen any of the videos. We saw images from the videos that give us nothing. And the text messages, well, I mean, I guess interpret them the way you will. So I'm going to say in that. We did go through all those. The woman wrote to Majors, I told them it was my fault for trying to grab your phone and stressed that she told the police this was not an attack. His criminal defense lawyer, Priya Chandri, issued a statement after Tuesday's court appearance calling the case a witch hunt and claiming the proceeding is saturated with explicit and implicit bias. She also alleges the treatment of Majors, whom describes as, get ready for it, a black man weighing 200 pounds, and a racial bias that permeates the criminal justice system. So they're crying racism, folks.
Oh, there we go.
They
Ah.
jumped
suppose-
straight to
I
racism.
don't suppose we
Yeah,
know the
play that card.
ethnicity of the alleged victim, do we?
White.
Right. Okay. So they can cry racism here. Okay.
Absolutely,
So-
all up and down.
It was always going to come down to something. It was either going to be the
Oh, it
black
gets
card
better.
or the woman card. They had to pick one.
You mean it gets better? What does that mean?
Chandri goes on to say, "We have provided the district attorney with irrefutable evidence that the woman is lying, including video proof showing nothing happened." That's right. Nothing happened in the video you showed us. That's right. Nothing. Nothing one way or the other to prove jack shit. Anyway, especially not where she claimed, she wrote. She did this with explicit promise from the DA that they would not fix their case and change. It was proved that the woman is lying. So now these are claims that she's making out in public, not in court, just to be clear. Now we have obtained even more video evidence of this innocence, but we are hesitant to share it for fear the DA will tip the woman off to change her story again. Does anybody know the problem with this statement? I'm not even a lawyer, and I see a big problem with this statement.
You mean in a legal sense or just in a common sense?
Yeah, in a legal sense. It's technically a legal sense. Has anybody else here seen the movie My Cousin Vinny?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Who hasn't? Yeah.
Yeah.
Many a lawyer and people have told me that's a very, very, very good breakdown of how the court system works.
You're saying it's
And the
Utes,
legal system.
It's the Utes that have caused the problem.
Yes,
here?
it's the Utes that have the problem here. No, in that there's a big scene where Joe Pesci's character Vinny finds out about Discovery.
Right.
So this here, what she's saying, is a bunch of fucking horse shit.
So they've got information that they legally are obliged to have shared with the prosecution, which they haven't.
She's claiming this. Point being, she claims that if she puts it out in public, the DA will tip the woman off to change her story again. Disclosure, exactly. If this actually exists, they already fucking have it.
Well, the other thing about an article like this, Tom, is that they're waging this battle in the press as opposed to presenting evidence in a court, which is where this should be going.
Exactly. I don't think she has much of a case for her client here. That's my opinion in the matter.
I find it hard to believe that there would be some inbuilt systemic prejudice against Jonathan Majors here, given variety of factors such as where this is all happening, geographically, his status as a movie star, etc., etc. What's in it for the DA to be systemically biased against him? This is just my opinion, of course.
Yeah.
No, you got a great point, though.
That I agree
how
with
can
you
there
on
be
70s.
discrimination and racism when right now, like, if you put a movie, from what I'm hearing, if white people make a movie, they can't ever win awards. What the fuck?
It just doesn't ring true given where it's all happening and the people involved, that there would be some kind of we're out to get this guy type attitude. I just don't see that. Unless, of course, there's more that meets the eye to all of this. And
Well, there may be something to it if just another red shirt, if I understand what he's saying here. So the defense does not have to
the
share
defense doesn't.
exculpatory evidence to prosecution. That's true.
Okay.
That is true.
It's all very weird.
Yeah.
Yep.
you got
I don't
that
know how
right.
good this attorney is because she didn't move fast enough, and however fast she did not move resulted in him losing every single one of his deals.
Yes.
And he's been fired by his agents, no less.
That's what I mean. Like his life is over. How was this what we would call effective legal counsel? Was this effective legal counsel?
No.
And if he's found innocent, as may well happen, if he's found not guilty and he's cleared of all charges, then he's got an awful lot of people that he's going to be asking for explanations about what they've done.
And he won't get half those things back, even if he does get exonerated.
He's not getting anything back. This guy's blackballed,
Yeah.
bro.
But
Yeah.
this fighting of the case.
Yeah,
in the
I
press,
think Mike is right. I think he's blacklisted. Even if legitimate hard proof comes out, I do think he's blacklisted no matter what.
I think his lawyer's telegraphing that they have jack shit.
Well,
if
obviously,
they had anything worth a shit, it'd be out there in the public. Fuck all this, like, oh, the DA is gonna make the no. You are putting out some salacious bullshit claims, conspiracy crap.
Yep.
Like, do you realize how far people and how many people would have to? Is the biggest bunch of horse shit I've ever seen in my fuck. They took 2 days to give them the charges because they wanted to make sure that they were gonna stick. I'm sure.
I understand that, having watched decades of movies and seen decades of television about the American legal system, that there's often a lot of it is played out in the press. But I would have thought in this instance, the best policy, and this is again, I'm not an expert, I'm not a lawyer, would have been, my client is innocent of all of these charges, and we intend to demonstrate that at the trial. That's all you have to say.
All I'm going to tell you is this guy might, for all intents and purposes, as I've discussed on this show before, be innocent. Look, I was completely innocent. I didn't do jack crap, and my life was turned upside down for the better part of a year over some bitch that lied about all kinds of shit, and the DA ended up threatening to prosecute her over what she did to me, and then that chick left town. So, bitches lie, all right, sometimes, and dudes lie. Everybody lies, all right? So we don't know what the truth is.
Lawyers lie.
Everybody lies, right? So the point of the matter is that eventually something's going to come out. But what we can say at this point in the game is that every time this attorney has said that they had something that was going to tell the true story, Tom, how much time has elapsed?
Over a month.
I mean, I had to wait through the court system, but I immediately had texts, I had pictures, I had emails, I had people writing letters on my behalf. I had the community standing up in arms behind me, and I had character reference letters within days. I had witnesses.
That's just it. If you have something that exonerates him, get it out there in the press.
And
that is your easiest ways to get everybody's public opinion on his side.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's a battle of public opinion, not of legal fact.
This is also true, Brian, but at this point, his lawyer has shown me jack shit, and Jack left town to prove to me that A, she's worthy of even defending this guy at this point, because she's hurting his case on all fronts, if you ask me. He is as guilty as fucking sin, and she's doing her damnedest to try to. But everything she's doing in the press is hurting the case, if you ask me. That's my point.
And there may be more than we're not seeing that the prosecution or others are not seeing right now. So maybe there's more.
Is it possible we may never even, I don't know what the odds are of this happening, but we might not ever see the evidence. Do you think maybe they're trying to figure out a way to get a settlement between the two, because maybe there actually isn't any good, strong evidence that maybe she does have let's just say maybe she has a bruise on her face, but can they prove that it came from him specifically?
Well, the difference is
maybe
here,
that's
Nick,
the
is
issues that they don't have.
She's not even going after him
them.
personally, at least not yet. I mean, they're no longer together, but she had no incentive to really go after him, because at that point, that was where they lived together, and she was her only form of income, from what we could tell. Too,
can there be a settlement in a criminal trial?
I don't think there can be. That's the other problem.
I mean, yes, charges can be dropped, but that's a different thing from a settlement. It's a civil litigation.
We have no idea what she's going to do. That's my point. Yeah.
I think the problem, Mikey, for you is that you were running an illegal taco smuggling operation.
Of course he was.
And that's the problem, and that was revealed. And
no
that's why you got into
tamales?
trouble. No, that was right. He was just restricting it.
Your joke is racist. You're canceled.
Well,
cancel.
I think if he had a lawyer like Matlock, he'd be better off.
Oh, Matlock would help. Yeah.
Especially if Matlock was played by Kathy Bates.
No.
Jesus Christ.
And from what I'm being told from behind the scenes, the crew from Star Trek Discovery is going to be working on this show.
All right.
Kathy Bates.
Finally something for them to do.
Yeah. Good. Matlock, which stars Kathy Bates, is
the new Andy Griffith.
Madeline Matlock now.
Is this a joke?
No, it's freaking real.
Well, we had a female equalizer, so
fuck.
Yeah. What is
is that show still going? Was that show renewed? By
which one?
The Equalizer?
The Equalizer.
I don't know if the Equalizer got renewed.
Whatever happened to
Equalizer.
We got the Equalizer 3 coming out this summer. That's one of the only other movies I'm kind of looking for.
That's one of the few ones I'm looking forward to. Denzel's third movie.
Yeah,
me too.
We love Denzel.
This was more of a joke. I just wanted to get everybody's reaction to gender swapped Matlock.
I
Wow.
don't want this.
You know what's sad about this? If you had told me that Kathy Bates is getting a show where she's like some old school lawyer,
Yeah.
I'd be interested.
Yeah, just
fine.
don't. Why do they have to steal the name and yet again?
Because it's the only way to make it relevant and saleable, Brian. You know the answer to that.
I know.
Brian doesn't want the truth. He can't handle the truth.
I cannot handle the truth.
Matlock was Perry Mason with Andy Griffith, but
By
still.
the way, I
pretty
just
much.
looked up Olivia de Havilland. She did sue the studios and won and changed the law in California as a result.
Mamlock.
Mamlock.
Comments to the wind.
Oh,
Goddess
my
of
God.
Wham.
No, I
If
think
she
it'd be kind of
plays it
funny.
like
You have,
Misery, if she
Okay,
plays it
here's a
like
show.
Misery,
no, well, not Misery. Here, I'll pitch you a better show yet. I mean, it'd be funny if she did, Brian. I know you were making a joke.
Misery, she should play it
But-
like Misery.
I'll pitch you an actual show.
Yeah.
She is a lawyer who got started during the hippie days.
Uh-huh.
And she fell out of the practice and now she's getting back into it.
Mm.
And she's a no nonsense, kind of gal. She's Kathy Bates. Like, she's got that Kathy Bates attitude. That's all you need, right?
Yeah.
Like, to me, that'll sell a show. Or
guess
something
it can't-
along those lines. I don't know.
I guess it can't be Mrs. Matlock like Mrs. Columbo.
Even if they said it was Matlock's younger sister and she was taking over his practice,
Why does it have to be connected with Matlock? Exactly.
Because
I
they
know the
need the
answer.
name.
I know the answer, but that's the stupid thing. Can we not have anything original anymore? I mean,
it's going to be smelly law.
of course, we are getting an original show. Looks like from one of the Wayans here, Papa's House, Damon Wayans and Damon Wayans Jr. So we'll see how that rolls.
That'll be a major pain.
I was gonna say that.
You do it
It's
next, though.
major pain.
Pain.
How do you live with yourself?
Lord.
Apparently, Kathy Bates already had a lawyer show, as somebody says in the chat. Well, I don't
Did she?
remember.
She probably did, yeah. Who hasn't? Yeah.
Maybe she's going to be a crusading lawyer that sues Disney.
Brian Lord.
Oh, man. Why would
Just
she-
the endless remakes and rehashes and reboots.
I know, right?
Yeah. Just.
Oh, you
name.
guys love it.
The
You know you
name.
do.
I think we need people who are creative to start creating things again.
Yeah.
I mean, we have them.
Speaking of sequels, rehashes, and reboots, I've been sitting on a report
Uh-oh.
from
It's all warm now.
The last time he started like
Yes,
that,
very warm and squishy.
I found out that Kurtzman was sticking around.
Well, no, this is something a little different. Somebody got to see the test screening
Of
Beverly Hills Cop 4.
what?
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
boy.
We do tell.
Oh,
It
no.
sounds like it's not as bad as we were anticipating.
Ringing endorsement.
I know,
It's not
right?
quite
It still
as bad
doesn't
as we-
sound great.
It may not
but,
make you hurl.
Pretty
Not
much everything
quite
we
as
had heard
bad.
it sounds to be true.
That's the
Sounds like
best
it's
we
got
can
some
do.
fun cameos and some fun bits.
Yeah.
That
It
was-
sounds like the actress playing her daughter is forcing it a bit too much, from what the report said.
Oh.
But,
I hope there's an ad that goes on all the radios and TVs and YouTubes. New Beverly Hills Cop, not as bad as you hoped it
Not
would.
as bad as you feared.
Yeah, from Tom Connors.
That's the quote. Yeah.
Wow.
Now the movie could still change a little bit. This was a test screening.
Yeah.
This was a
Could
proper
change
test screening where they
considerably.
had actual questions and all that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
Are we going to get Billy
Questionnaires
Rosewood back?
afterwards.
Old Billy Rosewood, maybe?
He
Yes,
is
he's
back.
there.
He is
In
back.
a cameo.
Cameo.
Taggart is there.
Taggart.
He's actually the new captain.
That actor's still alive. What's his name?
Yeah.
What's
He,
that actor's name now?
Well,
John
can't remember his
Ashton.
name.
yeah,
John Ashton. There you go.
That's
I
it.
like
yeah.
him. What about Ronnie Cox? Not a chance,
Ronnie
brother.
Cox is gone.
The third
Is
Rock
Ronnie
and the
Cox, is he
Sun
dead?
kid's in it.
Is Ronnie
What's
Cox
his
dead?
face?
No.
No.
No, Ronnie Cox isn't dead, but he's not in it, sadly.
Hmm.
Sarge is in it for a cameo.
Sales. Okay, that's good.
Sarge. You say it like
Oh,
Sarge.
yeah.
It sounds
Prince
like
Why do we have to have his
Sarge.
kids?
Bronchi.
I don't want him to have his kids. I'd rather see.
That is
old
what it's
Axel
about,
Foley.
though. Yes, he has an estranged daughter, although it's not like the deadbeat dad situation, I guess, that we usually are used to. But I don't know about that. We'll
Oh
see.
boy.
And yeah, she gets wrapped up in a mystery along with her hubby or hubby to be, I can't remember which was also a cop.
Boy.
Is the Gordon Levitt character. And I heard him and Eddie Murphy have some pretty good chemistry, which I mean, they're both kind of veterans at that. But I heard the daughter character is very much the Force. Like they do a horrible job of trying to make her daughter like dad type situation.
So
Of course.
remind me who wrote this, Tom? Who's written this?
Let me look.
You remember? Yeah.
I think it was the guys who did
Rick and Morty. No, I'm just kidding.
unfortunately.
that actually sounds. I actually believe that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
I'd be interested to know because that
It
might tell
is
us.
written by
I thought he was gonna say Rick and Morty right there.
Just a really
a bunch of people. It's written by a bunch of people. Oh, Kevin Bacon's in
too
it
many
too. By
people.
It's
the
written
way.
by a
Kevin
committee.
Bacon as himself.
Yeah,
or what?
Kevin Bacon's in it too.
That's a drag.
Weird.
Yeah.
that was good.
Oh.
70s. I got that reference.
Wow.
It's called Beverly Hills Cop Axel Foley. So keep that in
Okay.
mind.
Okay.
Paul Reiser's in it too. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Oh, all right. That's good.
Yeah, he's back too.
They got all the
It's
good
written
names
by
together,
Will
just so they can
Beam, Tom
shit on 'em.
Gormican, Kevin Eaton. Will Beam came up with the story.
Sounds like a committee.
Did it have a cameo
Yeah.
by across it from another movie of Jack Cates in there?
Oh, and this guy is not written much good. Okay,
Yeah,
get
that's what
this.
I'm wondering.
Gangster
Oh.
Squad,
So.
Aquaman,
Very so.
and Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Okay.
Oh, you said Zack Snyder
You're in trouble.
movie. Okay.
Who's this guy? again?
We're all
Will we
doomed.
ever be able to do like a month of this
Uh.
stream and not mention Zack Snyder?
I know,
I
right?
wish.
So that's an
No.
overpowering amount of mediocrity then.
Now I believe it's coming straight to Net. Yeah, I believe it's coming straight to Netflix in either in August, somewhere between August and October. I can't remember exactly when, but yeah.
Right.
Oh man, I gotta get Netflix to see it again.
Good news though. The music's Harold Faltermeyer. So
Yes, they got Harold Faltermeyer back to do the
That's
music.
good news.
Yes.
So,
Right.
any word on the another 48 hours with Nick Nolte and
No,
Eddie Murphy coming back together?
no movement on that or anything I've heard about that, but Netflix did get the rights to Beverly Hills Cop 4 and 5 at the same time. So I
Oh.
suppose if this does well, we'll probably get another one.
Imagine that theme will be a little bit slower. Bump, 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 bump.
I think they
Yeah.
should change the theme. Wonk 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 wonk. Wonk 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 wonk. Because if you think, wait, okay, now look, let's think about this. Wait a minute, hear me out. The original movies were set in Beverly Hills, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
And if we're making this movie for the modern day with modern economic conditions, wonk 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 wonk.
Bump,
Wonk
bump,
wonk
bump,
wonk 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 wonk.
They should have called it Hilton Head Cop Out.
Oh,
No, Hilton Head, we have nice golf courses. In Beverly Hills, everything's a homeless camp. That's my point.
Oh Lord.
Ah!
Oh, Lord.
Yes, but it's
Everything is a garbage dump and a freaking homeless camp. That's why. Wonk,
Yeah,
wonk,
but it's the
wonk,
best dressed homeless people in the country.
yeah, buddy, that works. So you
So
can
the
drive that
other-
old red truck, right?
What happens when I don't eat
Axel
dinner
Foley?
before the
The
stream?
other writer did Desperate Housewives, so make of that of what you will.
Yeah.
Axel Foley will have Fred Sanford.
How did I not get to write this movie? I'm like one of the world's
know.
biggest Beverly Hills Cop fans.
You are the biggest. Beverly
You are
Hills
the
Cop.
biggest, both in dimensions and in
You're
the
not
size
wrong
of your
there.
fandom.
Oh, for God's sake. Be nice to my Tom.
Wow, man,
I'm just kidding.
You be
I
nice
love
to
that
my
movie
Tom.
too.
Well, it could turn out to be okay. We don't know yet.
I hope so, but I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know.
could.
Well, that's all I got for you kids. Anything going on in anybody else's world they want to talk about? I mean,
What? That's
I like
Yeah,
Beavis and
it's a really
Butthead. That
slow
last
day.
episode was
Oh, yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah,
Beavis and Butthead's
It
been
was
good.
So good. With God involved at the end.
yeah.
That was amazing.
MTV News is dead.
It was still going.
I mean they were still making that.
They
Yeah.
still made that.
I'm telling
Is
you,
Kurt
right now,
Loder still on it?
I don't know, but I know that I know that Paramount realizes just how deep a well they're in right now, and they can't spend their way out of it, even though they spent $511 million in Reddit.
Oh yeah, what was this culture? What was this thing that some financial advisor was telling Paramount to stop the streaming shit?
Yeah.
What was that all about?
That was Moffat Nathanson that downgraded them because of their huge losses on streaming, basically saying that their content spend was out of line with the support for the service or something. Let me see if I can find the article, but it was funny as fuck.
Wait, I got to read this. Find that article. Let's read that.
That was why I'm glad, because you're here, Mikey. I wanted to get your reaction.
Oh my God, let's get into that right now.
He's like, stop the fucking streaming shit now.
One of the investors. So we're saying that one of the investors. That is breaking news. Tomorrow's the Disney call. I don't know if I mentioned that to you, Tom. Do you know?
Oh no, I did not know that. What time does it start?
Jeez, tomorrow at 4:00 is the Disney call, which of course I'm going to cover live on the Valiant channel. But what I found interesting over the last couple years as this stuff has unfolded is that these institutional investors, they're so patient. They're letting quarter after quarter go by, where they're allowing these studios and these companies that have these streaming services to lose astronomical amounts of money. I mean, Disney Plus is currently in the hole by, I think, to the tune of 11.7 billion the last time I looked. Billion. And the content stream is out of control. People like to, paraphrase that. Oh, well, we're recouping our costs of developing. It doesn't cost $12 billion to connect a bunch of servers. This is just overspending in terms of content. The content sucks and people tune out and no one's interested. And now they're desperately rushing for ads. So if an investor finally stepped up and said, hey, newsflash, it's like, hey, newsflash, you got to get your cost structure in line with your revenue on the streaming shit. That is a good sign of things to come. That means accountability is around the corner, which, by the way, all of the people in this chat that are watching and listening live, everybody on this panel has been saying, listening, and agreeing with and saying for God knows how long, right?
Yeah. Hey, this is one part of the story. This is not the original article, which I cannot find.
That's okay.
But it's in the private chat.
Oh, you could have just shared it, but all right.
Oh,
so I'll just slip out before that because I gotta go.
All right, well, thank you. Go get your supper.
Yeah,
I had hot dogs.
Yeah, go ahead and abandon us.
I will.
Oh, no, it's that early bird special.
Slide out.
Yeah.
Slide out of us right now.
Have a good night, everybody, and go over to Nick's channel and watch our Death Wish 3 Toxic Tuesday.
Yes, but
we'll be there in a little bit.
What you guys don't realize is it is 4:00. And that's early bird special for Brian, so he's got to get that.
Well, they got to get the seniors plate, so
senior discount. Yeah.
Love
you, Brian. Take care.
Take care, man.
Oh, now here's that fat fuck himself. Backish.
Yeah. So this is just one part of it. I can't find the article anymore, Mikey, but they took him to town. This is just one of the areas. So Paramount Global entered 2023 with a net leverage ratio of 4. Given the rather dour first,
that means for those watching at home, for every dollar,
for
every dollar in revenue that they might have been capturing, they owed 4. So that would be like
roll, George.
That would be like I made $1,000 this week in my job, but I owe $4,000 in bills.
4.
Right.
Okay.
Well, it gets worse because given the rather dour first quarter earnings report released yesterday by CBS News and station's parent Moffat Nathanson, the respected Wall Street financial house with its eye on media and entertainment now forecasts the company will exit 2023 with a leverage ratio of 5.7.
Wow, that means that for every dollar that's cut, for every $1,000 a week, they owe almost $6,000, $5,700.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and that's a big concern for Moffat Nathanson. Yeah, and that's just one. That's just one big concern.
Bro, you couldn't set the money on fire that fast. Like literally, like I don't know if people know this, but like you could actually burn money, but money doesn't even burn that fast. Like if you light it on fire,
it doesn't burn well.
It doesn't burn well. It's like, wow.
Yeah, so this is just one of them, but that's just one part of it. I'm not kidding. I'm gonna find this article, but it was like, I was like, oh shit.
Tom, can you imagine running a business where for every dollar that came in, you owed 5.7?
No,
they have been
down.
I
would be in big trouble.
But
Grace Randolph,
Moffat Nathanson, every every single April or May, Moffat Nathanson downgrades Paramount Global. I mean, it's like clockwork. It's like bang, bang. I'm like, oh shit, they're bad. Anyway, I'm gonna keep looking for the story.
All right, well, let's dive into this super quick, and then we'll finish up the program.
All right.
Yeah, if you can find the story, that's fine.
I'm working on it, dude. I'm working on it.
If not, we'll definitely talk about it on the morning show. But we got to laugh at Grace Randolph here. So.
Oh, now what did she do?
Disgraced hand job here is talking about Little Mermaid, and she throws out some pretty salacious shit out here. Let's listen in.
There is absolutely.
I should give credit to Bleeding Fool for clipping this out. By
yes,
the way.
There is absolutely nothing to hate about this movie. Absolutely nothing
to hate about this movie.
If
guys.
anyone hates on it, again, that's a commentary on themselves.
Oh, what? Hey, what? Yeah.
Commentary.
Should I back that up?
Yeah.
There is absolutely nothing to hate about this movie. Absolutely nothing. If anyone hates on it, again, that's a commentary on themselves. As for race-bending Ariel, I continue to stand by my comments that you can't have all these Caribbean musical numbers and a white Ariel. Here, they did shoot in Italy. All over the end credits, they're like, we're in Sardinia. And I'm like, it must be very pretty there. And I wish they hadn't done that because it's going to give fuel to the haters. That really sucks. But anyway.
Why is her voice so annoying, bro?
I don't know. God hates us.
Who watches her? Like God,
I don't understand how anyone watches her. I don't know. How?
Help me, Tom. Help me now.
Yeah, she's the one who didn't like Mario, so keep that in mind.
Maybe they wanted like the fairy tale element to the wide shots of the castle. But I mean, it's clearly in a Caribbean setting. It's like, again, as I said, Jack Sparrow could wander into this movie and he would totally fit. But come on, there are steel drums, loved them. And while the aristocrats in Eric's kingdom talk with a British accent, Trinidad was a British colony from 1889 to 1962. But a lot of the people, not the aristocrats, but the regular people of Eric's kingdom, they speak with a Trinidad accent, just like Sebastian does. So it would be ridiculous for a white Ariel to be in this environment. And truth be told, there are many moments when watching the movie where one has to wonder why Eric is still white instead of black or Latino, especially when the queen is black. It's sort of explained. There's kind of a mystery there, which they never really solve, maybe in a sequel. But also, after I was watching, I'd say maybe 2/3 in, I was like, this is interesting because by keeping Eric white, you're kind of underscoring that a human and a mermaid's romance has similarities to an interracial romance. So I do think that tracks. I think that tracks. But you know what?
What?
These things are all very subtle points.
What? What?
Wait, how does it track? I lost. Wait.
She says that them being interracial. Well, I'll just let her speak for her dumbass fucking self.
Okay.
It's tough to follow her.
Underscoring that a human and a mermaid, there's kind of a mystery there, which they never really solve, maybe in a sequel. But also, after I was watching, I'd say maybe 2/3 in, I was like, this is interesting because by keeping Eric white, you're kind of underscoring that a human and a mermaid's romance has similarities to an interracial romance. So I do think that tracks. I think that tracks. But you know what? These things are all very subtle points.
She is so racist. I almost couldn't react. Ask Tom. I almost couldn't speak when we ran this earlier on Mr. H's show. I was like, oh, this chick is racist. She just compared an interspecies relationship
with an interracial relationship.
Yeah. And I'm like, all right. If she's not being fed the whole Trinidad accent thing by somebody that has got a bug in her ear, I don't know. She's searching. Somebody's trying to feed her stuff to justify this thing, but it doesn't matter. She just comes off as crazy racist here. I don't know. That's just my opinion, and it was staggering when I saw this.
She's definitely going off the rails on the crazy train.
Wow. Yeah.
But if you find anything to dislike in this movie, that means you're racist.
No, she's calling you racist, but she's incredibly racist in this take.
Yeah.
Anything to dislike.
I'm going off the rails on a
On a
crazy
racist train.
Well, not me.
Well, I won't find anything because I can't watch it. I will not watch
Points.
it.
This is not a preachy movie whatsoever. It is there to entertain and sweep you off your feet to remind you of the 1989 classic.
Pause. Okay, the reason I want you to hit pause is because I want you to look at the poster. Okay, look at the new movie poster.
Mhm.
Look at the old movie poster. What's featured prominently in the old movie poster?
Eric.
Ariel and Eric together.
Yep.
In the new movie poster, where the
No
fuck is
Eric.
Eric?
He's way back there in a way back.
Is he? Oh, they're way in the back. I go there.
Wait. He got the John Boyega treatment.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. He's like John Boyega in China. Let's just be fair.
That's right.
Why in this video does she look like she's an Instagram filter girl?
Because she is
she is.
an alien and her face is falling off.
Dude, man, whoever does her eye makeup, and if it's her, she needs to like learn to like be more conservative in that space, you know.
So I do not need the opinion of a misogynistic culture cuisiner. Little Mermaid is not racist like you.
Okay.
I want popcorn.
So go to the theater and buy some and see The Little Mermaid. You won't find anything wrong with it. And if you do, it's your fault. You racist fucker. All of you are racists. I was right. Mario sucked. So
She didn't like Mario.
Oh crap.
Dude, she said, Mikey, just for context, she said Mario wouldn't make it through the first Friday.
he's got little legs. I've never played the game. How was I supposed to know? So, fuck you, culture concerner.
Oh, wow. Wow. Like Owen Wilson, wow to that.
This movie would have been better if Owen Wilson did play Prince Eric. In fact, it would be better if Prince
Wow.
Eric was black. Because I'm not racist like you, culture concerner.
Grace Randolph, you have a death
Racist.
wish.
You are all racist pigs.
You are a pig.
Wow.
So,
So I guess she got a very advanced preview. Eh?
So Grace, how is it you didn't like Mario, but you liked the Little Mermaid? That makes no sense, Grace.
I don't understand why Mario was made. Maybe for the furries.
Oh shit.
Because he
This
turns
crap's not
into-
out yet, is it?
Turns into a little bear. They had a premiere in Hollywood.
Okay.
And they loved me so much. They let me come see it early with all the other peoples.
Yeah. well,
Racist.
good. I'm glad she liked it. That's all that matters, really, that Grace liked it.
Racist.
Because now I don't have to watch it because she likes it. And that's all
How
that
am I
matters. Right?
racist, Grace?
Racist!
I can't be racist. I'm Mexican.
You are so racist.
How?
You star. Trust her. She knows. It's her decision.
All right.
Not
We're
yours.
done with Grace. We're done with her. We're done with that.
Wonder if I could actually buy
Yeah.
this Grace Randolph filter for my sound machine.
That would be hilarious. I don't know if anybody would want that.
Why?
Why would you want
I
that?
don't know.
I hope mine is at least more listenable than her shit.
It is.
Well,
It is.
It's
Way better.
amusing. Yeah, but here's the interesting thing: it's not just MTV that's going to be losing numbers from. You're using a quarter of employees across Showtime, MTV Studios, and Paramount Media Networks. They're cutting 25% of staff,
Yeah.
folks. That's huge.
Huge.
Yeah.
Do you know what they tout at Paramount, Tom? I bet you can guess every single show they're touting as successful.
Yellowstone.
Yes. 1883, Tulsa King, South Park, Mayor of Kingstown, Teen Wolf. Okay. I don't know about that. 1923, Drag Race, and George and Tammy. I don't know what the fuck that is. And Yellow Jackets. Those shows led to subscriber growth.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they led to the Yellowstone led to subscriber growth for Peacock.
Yep. And they're getting the 5th season, or at least the first half of the 5th season of Yellowstone soon here. Pinochet's helicopter tourist says Trump was found guilty of a crime on an unknown date. That may or may not have ever happened. These rules, this guy is screwed. LOL. Well, I heard he's appealing.
Oh,
it was just a $5 million judgment.
Well, the jury said there's no evidence that the illicit contact that you're describing happened, but here's $5 million anyway.
They're like, if there's no proof that it didn't happen, that's not how the law works. Fire Knight 013 says God has no association with her, the other side, though. Well, probably.
I don't want to start any blasphemous rumors, but I think that God has a sixth sense of humor.
He does.
And when I die, I expect to find him laughing.
When you go to the place that's the best.
Yeah.
I send you to Jesus.
You know, you're not allowed to use that guy's content. He will claim you, Mike. You just got the channel.
I've heard that. Yeah, Uncle Rogers.
That was me saying it. Why can't I say it?
Because you sounded just like him.
Yeah. Did I? Did I do good?
Yeah.
Exactly. You sounded exactly like him.
No, you make Uncle Rogers sad. That's not even his real accent. You know.
Kota Casino has sticky because of cream of super cream. Some young guy.
No.
Hello, nieces and nephews.
It was nearly funny.
That's always funny. Cream of some young guy.
Emotional damage. Yeah, I like Uncle Roger, but he's a bit.
Name of soda Kota drinking is cream of some young guy.
He's funny.
This is a 805.
Cerveza. The Tweaky Kid says, "Is Grace the little girl from Airplane that likes her coffee black and her men?" Oh,
whoa!
There you go.
Hello.
Whoa.
Hello,
Mr. Ed.
Whoa.
Then we got Das Wolfen.
Das
For 10 months. Yeah, it sounds like a Sega game. Das Wolfen on Sega.
Oh, I have been given a piece of candy.
What?
Meat candy.
What? That's bacon.
Yay. Bacon.
Did the missus just bring you bacon?
All right.
Wow.
Ooh.
She's a keeper.
Good missus.
That looks like
candy.
almost perfectly cooked bacon, too. Now
She's awesome at bacon.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Is the meat in your hand crisp?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, the cock.
I can hear the crunch of.
Who's eating something that they should be eating?
That is amazing. Shh, he's eating bacon. We're observing.
Yeah,
Look how tender it is. It's got a nice fold too. He's got the fold
crisp.
down.
Everyone should be eating bacon.
Meat candy. By the way,
that was baked in an oven.
Meat candy is so good. I'm getting breakfast for dinner. I am a very special boy.
Meat candy is amazing. But with that, we're going to wrap this up, I think, because Nick, you've got Toxic Tuesday coming up here pretty soon, don't you?
Yes.
Yes,
Talk about some
sir.
Death
1
Wish.
hour. Death Wish 3. You will come and, well, everyone dies in this movie except Charles Bronson. So you better
I wish
join
I
us.
was dead.
Yes, it's gonna be fun. 70s will be there. I'm sure Tom will drop by as well. And it's gonna be fantastic. It's gonna be absolutely huge, and it's gonna be a lot of explosions. It's gonna be huge. So you better come and be fantastic. And thank you for having me, Tom. It's always good to laugh at Grace Randolph and also at the weird virtuousness of ScarJo going all weird now about her signaling. So yeah, and of course to our chat, thank you for being here. To our wrenchers, thank you for wrenching. Of course, it's good to hang with the boys on the panel. So hope to see many of you in an hour. And yes, it will be huge.
You got something coming up here too, don't you, Clobby?
Actually, not tonight, but tomorrow night. I don't know if Loki and I'll be doing the comic book roundtable at 7 tomorrow night. We usually do it on Wednesdays, but I hope so. And my usual show to Wildcard Wednesday night at 9, and then 9 o'clock Thursday night. Raquel and Mark and I, of course, for the Clubhouse, and Saturday nights. As always, Saturday night Star Trek, reviewing all of Real Trek 66 through 05 on the 6th season of Deep Space Nine right now.
All right. Culture Casino. You never stream.
I don't. I'm not doing it very much anymore. Oh my gosh, the bacon.
Don't choke on it, dude.
It's the peppered part of the bacon. That was peppered bacon. Okay, so I do the 6 Minute Daily on the weekdays. I have a lot of fun doing that. A lot of you enjoy that show. Then I hang out with Tom on Midnight's Edge in the morning with Andre and the whole crew whenever we all get together in one place. And then other places I do stuff and things. Sometimes I make a video. Sometimes I just live stream. Sometimes
no. Sometimes you don't live stream.
That's also true. It's also true. But really, I just want to encourage everybody to look forward to the date in your calendar that is 1 day from today, and then subtract 1 day from that. Because on the 8th, I will be in Dallas doing a meetup with all of the Dix Division folks, and then a little Gary Fest and some G&G folks, all before the Dallas Fan Expo, which is coming up on the 9th. That's a week from today.
Dix meet. It's a Dix meet.
No, it's not a week. It's a month from today. It's a month from today, not a week from today. But you will be able to hang out, check out what we got. Some of us have some interesting merch to give away for free. Some of us have some merch you could purchase. I have some very limited supply of, oh my God, the cock hats. They're not cheap, but I do have them. They're fancy. And that's all I wanted to say. I can't wait to meet everybody again for those that didn't make it to Vegas. And then someday, I'm going to meet Mexican Iron Man. I'm going to go play golf on his island. Do you know Mexican golf?
When are you in? I'm still waiting for dates. I'm planning out my summer. Oh, no, you already told me you're coming in September, huh?
Yep.
September's wide open.
Okay.
And the weather is awesome.
Yeah, I have a couple of events to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we have our Dix meetup is going to be the Thursday, which is the 8th, on June 8th, right before our show, which is the Thursday Night Throwdown on the 8th. We don't think we're going to be doing it live from the venue, but we will be doing it live all together, which will be, mostly all together, which will be fun, except for Tom won't be there. But Tom can Skype in or voice in or Zoom in, or
you never know. I got a plan to get down to see Mikey one of these days.
Well, Mikey's in South Carolina.
Dude, you will eat like healthy, and you will eat like a champion while you're here.
Oh, man. Oh, the boss made fresh pico de gallo, Mikey.
That's my favorite. Yum. That's like Mexican stuff.
That's from everything from the greenhouse. It's
all your own cilantro?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, dude, I got a cilantro. Looks like a freaking tree. It's huge. Yeah, good stuff. We should go. We've been talking too long. It's my fault. Gotta go. We should go.
Mikey, the greatest YouTuber in the world.
I'm going to be on Snowdub's channel tonight at 10 o'clock East Coast time.
Oh, are you the fleshy sacrifice?
No, I have no idea what he wants to talk about.
Oh, it's Taco Tuesday or whatever, isn't it?
Oh, that's right.
He wanted me to talk about the next Rambo movie, but I didn't have time to watch it. So I don't know why. I have no idea what we're going to talk about.
Illis Mallory says, hello all. Tom, did Toxic Femme go last night? No, I wasn't feeling too hot, and Nina had some things going on and stuff, so no, we did not have one last night. We took the night off, but we should be back up and running next week, so no worries there.
There you go.
With that, I should be joining later on Toxic Tuesday, so hope to see you folks there. This stream will lead right over to that. So thank you so much, everybody in the chat, for being here tonight. Take care of yourselves and each other. And
Night, everybody.
with that,
I have registered your opinions.